Wake up, it's the morning. Wake up, the day is dawning. Wake up, it's time to spill the tea. So everybody's gotta wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the morning. Wake up, the day is dawning. Wake up, it's time to spill the tea. So everybody's gotta wake up, wake up.
Hi everybody, welcome to Wake Up with T. Oliver. I'm T. Oliver Reed, your host, and yes, you have seen me in multiple Tony Award-winning musicals on Broadway, but now you get to see me sit down virtually with friends, peers, and colleagues while we discuss Broadway, life, and beyond. So let's get to talking. Episode 20... Nah, I'm gonna make you wait for it. Our guest today has graced the stages of Broadway in Leap of Faith and Hamilton, the small screen on Smash and The Blacklist, and the big screen in Murder on the Orient Express and Harriet. You've waited long enough for the Tony and Grammy Award-winning jazz soloist, dear Leslie Odom. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tony and Grammy Award winner Leslie Odom Jr. Woo!
What's up, T?
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well today.
How is life in LA?
Life in LA is good. Things are opening up a little bit, slowly but surely. We've got a little bit of outdoor space here. We live not too far from my in-laws, so we have help with the baby. There are a lot of people doing worse than us. We have our days for sure. You know, it ain't been all easy, but it ain't been all bad either.
No. Well, it's also hard being in the middle of this time when you are, as much as you love the person you have given your life to be with them 24 hours a day is a new thing.
That is a new thing, and it's not really the way it's intended to be, right? I mean, like the way our society, the way our culture is set up, and we get up and go to work. That's what we do. So the fact that we can't do that, it is an unnatural. It don't feel normal to us. Yeah. So it is trying to get comfortable and make peace with something that really isn't the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, but we've been doing good. We set up ground rules. You know, we try to set up new rules like as they come up. I remember early on in the quarantine, we had a rule. We set it up early, like we have to really have a thick skin. You know, like we have to be able to tell people the truth early. Like if you ask, hey, do you want to do this thing? Like the answer needs to be like no needs to really be able to be a complete sentence. Like,
for sure.
Don't take that personal. I'm not trying to do that right now. That we said. The one thing you always have to agree to is a walk. If the other person wants to take a walk, you have to agree to that. Yeah. That was just a weird rule that we decided, like, because if you don't want to take a walk, you probably need to.
Yes, for sure.
So we stuck to that. But we're doing really well, and also appreciating the time. I never would have taken this kind of time away from work. I wouldn't have taken.
Yeah, I mean, so because I mean, you have been running steadily since at least the opening night of that juggernaut musical Hamilton. And how has it been for you since being on Broadway, since making movies and TV, and now touring with your music? I mean, how has it been to finally be able to just sit down with your wife and your baby, and how is your little one doing with being able to see the two of you so much when you've both been working and traveling and everything?
That part has been the best part. When I left Hamilton and started to get things cracking on my own, stepped off the stage to the unknown, back to the unknown and stuff. And I didn't know what that would look like or what it would entail. So there are things that I signed up for that I didn't really know I was signing up for once I left the show. And so that took some getting used to. I remember that first year that I left the show, the year after leaving the show, I was home maybe, 100 days out of that year. I was gone quite a bit. So it took a second to get a handle on that and to get some control over that. Okay, I know I said I wanted to travel a little bit. I didn't mean like that, So, it's just been slowly trying to be the architect of my own future and really have the life that I want to live. Because you know this too. I mean, if you are not specific, if you don't get specific about the things you want and the dreams you have,
Absolutely.
you will live somebody else's life.
Yes.
Because you will be doing the things that other people tell you you should be doing and other people want for you. You have to really make some decisions and get clear about that vision for yourself so that you can build the thing you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I'm not sure if you've been watching the verses that are on Instagram Live, like on Saturday nights, but there was one a couple weeks ago with Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, and Jill said, she's like, Erykah asked her, like, when's the last time you had this much time at home? And she said, I have not had this much time at home in 20 years. And I think what we all forget is, like, you know, we love what we do. We love being working artists, but there's something beautiful about, for you, it's like being able to be home when your little one does something that you would normally have to wait for a video of, or
putting her to bed each night, making her breakfast in the morning. I mean, these are things that a lot of parents take for granted. I really did not get to do that on the regular. So it's a strange time, but I do have to always, you know, be thankful for the blessings, unexpected blessings in the midst of anything.
Okay, and with all that you have done, because even before Hamilton, you had done Smash, you'd done Blacklist, you had done several Broadway shows, and how did the Tony win affect you, like, immediately? And also, like, when you guys were down at the Public with Hamilton and you saw that response down there, what was it like for you to know walking into the Richard Rodgers Theater that you were walking into a hit and all these things were most likely about to happen? Or were those thoughts in your head?
Good question. I mean, before the Broadway bow, it was just about I don't have long to get better. If there's anything I want to change about the performance, I have 2 weeks of rehearsal for Broadway. 2 weeks. So we've done that. We've done the off-Broadway run, and the first thing I was just trying to do was just to learn the material, right? Learn the material, sing it well. Hopefully, I was trying to sing it well, and I wanted to work on the emotional life of the character. That's all I was focused on. I wanted to take the time to explore, because it was such sophisticated, literate, challenging material. So I wanted to really give it its due. So for Broadway, I was like, I don't have much time, right? So that's, if there is anything I want to change, and I'm sure there's going to be, I don't have much time. So I did something that I don't love doing. There was an understudy tape that was floating around, so people, if they had to go on very quickly, they could watch this tape and be ready. So I was like, I need to see the understudy tape. And Stephanie was like, "Are you sure?" I asked Stephanie and I asked Tommy, and they said, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, I need to watch it to see what's going on." Yeah. And it's one shot locked off from the back of the theater. And I'll do this. I'll show you physically. I watched 45 seconds of that tape, and I shut it off. And I was like, I know exactly what I have my work for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
So in 45 seconds, what I saw on that tape was this. I come out on stage and I'm like, can you see me full body?
Yeah, I can see you.
How does a vast son of full Scots drop in the middle of the forgotten spot, right? So I'm doing, and about 45 seconds is all I could watch, because I knew exactly what I was doing, what was happening here, and the way it was translated physically was, because I didn't want to pin myself down, because I didn't want to make any choices too soon. I was keeping it fluid. Gardner's here. I was keeping it real. I was keeping it fluid, right? Yeah. But what that looks like in the balcony at the Richard Rodgers Theater is, So what I realized is that I hadn't made any physical choices. I had not looked at the physical life of this character. I had not decided who he was going to be. So those 2 weeks for Broadway was all, I was like, You don't gotta like you're singing it as well as you can sing it. You are acting it as well as you can. What you need to answer is how you move physically, and it was really challenging. John Rua helped me a lot because Andy, as you can imagine, had hands full. Blankenbuehler's making the changes he wants to make. He's got 2 weeks. Anything I want to change, and so John, I worked with John Rua privately. You know, he would meet me before and after rehearsals, and we would look at moments in the show, and I would work on something, he would film it, he would give me notes, and I would fix it. So like all it required was essentially, when I move, it needs to be with a purpose. And if I don't have somewhere to go, if I'm not doing something, stand fucking still.
Well, I mean, that's amazing that in those 2 weeks that this was what's going on for you, because after all of the original principals left, then it really was for anyone who came in. Yes, you need to be on your numbers, you need to know the blocking, the staging, all of your notes, everything. But it seemed like there was a lot of trying for them to embody who you original principals were as well. So the way that Leslie moves then became the way that Aaron Burr moved for everyone a little bit. I mean, I think there were some instances that you'd see someone come in. And a couple of times I saw the shows, like someone new was like, oh, this person has taken all of the things that they're supposed to do with this track, but you see there's a twinkle of them in there. As opposed to really, that's a lot of work in 2 weeks.
That's a lot of work in 2 weeks. Yeah, and but I was able to really make some choices and open it up and pick it apart, and it hurt and it didn't feel good for a while, and then it felt great. So that was like, that's what I had to do. I didn't know about awards or anything like that. What I knew was that, T, you probably felt this too. If you've ever as a performer felt like the sneaky suspicion that you could be capable of something special, you could be capable of greatness if only you were given the opportunity. You know, I saw it with Patina. My little Patina, she was my little sister at Carnegie Mellon University, and seeing her, you know, when I went to see her as the leading player, and like I was like, I always knew Patina was talented.
But that's amazing, because then because I know that in ways Billy Porter is a mentor to you. So to know that like Billy was at Carnegie Mellon, you were at Carnegie Mellon, and Patina was at Carnegie Mellon. I mean, what is there something special about the program, or is it that they know how to choose special people to be a part of that program, and they nurture you in a really special way?
Good question. Yeah, when I'm talking about Carnegie to people, I usually say half my education came from the professors, because it was a great education, and half of it came from my classmates. It's the kids that they choose, because you're learning from each other. They're taking the best from all over the country, and you learn about what's happening down in Florida, what's happening in Texas, what's happening in California. These are places that I hadn't been.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I didn't know about the awards, but I knew that if ever I was going to be capable of doing something extraordinary, Lynn had given me the best runway I'd ever have to do that. So I needed to prove something to myself about the kind of artist that I am. And I wanted to make myself proud, you know?
And did you all realize that first day in rehearsal off Broadway, or when you were working on it before then, and workshops and everything, was there any feeling that you all were catching lightning in a bottle, and that this was going to be something that was going to be magnetic for everybody and really going to catapult every person who was a principal? And also, it's like how many? I mean, I think Hamilton may have been one of the first shows. I mean, Fosse definitely set the ensemble apart in a way that was special, and but in the way that everyone from Hamilton was catapulted into this place of stardom and celebrity and all of those things. I mean, did you guys have any idea of that?
We weren't focused on that, you know, and in a wonderful way. It was idyllic It was idyllic creatively in that way because all we were focused on was the work, man. All we were focused on was the work and looking in each other's eyes and showing up for each other. You know, when I had Sasha, you know, looking in Sasha's face, looking in Ephraim's face, like they were there for me, you know, like Betsy, we were there for each other, you know, like there was never a moment there was a conspiracy, you know what I mean? Like when you stepped out on the stage, there's something afoot, you know what I mean? And so, I'm just so proud.
That's amazing.
Proud to be a member of that company and grateful because I don't know where my life would be without it. You know, it changed my life. You asked about the Tony. I mean, the Tony is first and foremost, you know, it's a wonderful acknowledgement. Like it is a wonderful thing to be acknowledged by the community this community that I love so much. But at the end of the day, it's a business tool. It has allowed me to have a career.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of business, I mean, we all know that show business is truly the business of show, as much as anything else. And the original Broadway company of Hamilton really helped make strides with cast and being able to be compensated for their creative work and their part of building a show. How important is that, or was that creative and financial recognition for all of the original Broadway cast of Hamilton?
It's everything. It's everything to stay connected, to stay connected to a piece that you had a small part in building. It's everything to keep even a tiny financial relationship with that. You know, everybody's careers are different. There's, you know, not everybody's gonna have Lin-Manuel success or David success, you know. But we were all in that public theater. You know, we were all there, you know. So opportunities come to people at different times, but to maintain some sort of connection financially to the show is everything. You know, like the awards are important, the recognition is important, that all that stuff is lovely. Like, you know, that being in the history books is lovely, but the bank book is important too. The check is important too. And so I'm very grateful, thankful for the way that all turned out.
And I mean, I have to tell you, like, I think every member of Actors Equity is thankful for you all as well, because if you all had not taken that stance for that show, it would have made it doubly hard for anyone on any other show who find themselves in workshops or labs or what have you, to be able to say, well, this joke is actually mine. I wrote this and they used it, or this step is mine, or that note change in this song is mine because it wasn't working for them. But so for everyone to be able to say, we are a part of this process, and as much a part as the book writer or the music arranger and all these things. So, I mean, it was such a huge deal for everyone that you all were able to unify and speak as one for that. So
it's a small. Oh, thank you. It's a small thing, and I don't think actors are saying that, you know, that their contribution is the same as. It's not about competition, you know. It's not about the same as the director or the choreographer or the writer. Those people are pretty happy with their arrangements already. You know, it's actors saying, "Listen, having spent 10 years in LA before coming back to New York for like Smash and which led to Hamilton, all that stuff. I know the importance and the life's blood of residual income. Residual income, about after you leave a thing, you know, with the ebb and flow of a career, you know, with when you open your mailbox and have, you know, so little love offering show up from something you are a part of is life's blood, is survival for an artist. So certainly if there is windfall success, if there is something on Broadway that is tremendously successful, so much of it is not, and the stuff that's not is not.
Yeah.
But when there is something that really works and is really working for a lot of people, the whole family should sit around that table and eat a little bit.
Absolutely. How is your body after Hamilton? Because you were jumping off of tables and all kinds of stuff in that show. So
My body's all right. I mean, it was took a little bit, a
Yeah.
little bit of time right afterwards, but my body's all right. Then there was the whole, I don't know if you've had this experience, leaving the show, man, I put on 30 pounds in a year.
Oh no.
In a year, because
you were happy. You were enjoying it.
Bro, we had my wife had Lucille the following year, and so there was a little bit of time I took off with that, but just doing 8 shows a week and not. I was sort of conscious about what I was eating, but you can eat anything you want, because there's literally, I'm doing 24 hours of cardio a week, 24 of low level cardio, low level.
But not all low level. Some of it was bordering.
There's some interval. There's some interval.
Sure.
Interval.
Sure.
But yeah, it's like when that 24 hours of cardio disappears a week, I packed on those pounds quick. So yeah, it's been a fight with that. I'm in a comfortable place right now, sorta. Quarantine.
Looking good.
Thank you. Quarantine has been brutal, but yeah, that was the as far as my body goes, that was the big surprise. It was oh shit, I had to really change my diet. Roderick helped me with it. Y'all know.
No. Oh wait, Covington. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Roderick helped me with that.
Yeah. Cool. So and how with both you and your wife, Nicolette Robinson, for those of you who don't know, both brilliant and lovely, and I'm honestly, the two of you are two of the loveliest and kindest people on the planet. I mean, how is it when what is the handoff when you're working on the show and then you have time and she's working on the show and you have a toddler that you are raising and loving and trying to make sure that she is a kind and generous person as well? What is the trade-off, or what is the handoff from one to the other when something like this, when one is working and the other is at home?
It's different job to job because it's always a different investment.
Mm-hmm.
I say when Nick came back to do Waitress, it was so fun. That was her Broadway debut, so I'd never had the experience of Nicolette doing a Broadway show, and I loved it. I'm like, she can have it. Girl, number one, I'm a fan, so I loved going to see her every night almost whenever I was in town. She's just so extraordinary and honest. She's so courageous on stage and how she'll bear her heart and her soul. But we do our best to wherever we go, we do our best to bring our little village with us. So whether it's her mom or my sister or a nanny from home, somebody Lucy's comfortable with, the village is so important. And we're all scattered to the wind these days. As a nation, we don't often live close to family. So when we can, we're bringing family or somebody that feels like family to help us keep the village. But we're carnies, so our life is, we're all over the country and the hours are weird and stuff, so it's different job to job. We just, like I said, we just try to travel with our village if we can.
Nice. All right, so now I have to play a little something for you, because for those who don't know, again, with all the success of Hamilton and Smash and the work in movies as well, and again, Murder on the Orient Express is one of my new favorite sort of historical costume dramas, and I love that. But you also, it's you've been this latest part of your life has been spent touring on the two CDs that you've made. The first being self-titled Leslie Odom Jr., and then the latest one that is called Mr.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting for the Grammy nominations to come out, because this is so good. And I always say to people, if you're going to do something, it needs to be Tony ready, Grammy ready, Emmy ready. This album, this CD is so Grammy ready, and it's so great. And I just want to play a second for the people. Where did you come from? And how are you? Not a grand design. Some think it's
it's just witchcraft, but I think it's more than that, 'cause I think there's stronger magic out
Yes. So that moment is because again, it's like the first CD was definitely like it had a very grown up jazz sound, but then from that first one to this one, it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, that first one then it becomes like, as they always say about CDs and albums, you know, it was the freshman effort, and then you grow into this other thing. What was other than the birth of a child and everything else, like what was it with this second album that allowed the R&B and this really grounded but extra soulful place to be birthed for that?
Fighting for it, man. Fighting for it. We needed to fight and elbow our way for certain things. I'm with a label now. That first album that you talked about, that was a Kickstarter record. You probably donated. We raised right after Smash, we raised $40,000 on Kickstarter to make that debut record, and we wouldn't have this record, or so much of the stuff that I've been able to do was because of what I figured out on that first record, and my community gave me that shot. My community gave me that shot. So y'all gave me my first record deal. I'm grateful. But yeah, this was, so with the label, we're just like, we need the time. We need the time to develop. We need the time to record. It's not going to be quick, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
It took about a year and a half, soup to nuts. So.
And how long did you take on the first CD? Because I'm thinking people don't understand. It's like every moment that you were in the studio, you were paying for that moment. So there's not we're going to go in and play for a little while. It's like, no, it's as soon as you walk in, the calendar starts counting the amount of money that they're going to charge you for while you're listening or trying to fix something.
Listen, I wish it for every creative person. You need most of us. Some people can, if you're Prince, you Prince, and you can do it all by yourself. If you Stevie Wonder, you're Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
You don't need nobody, and that's a wonderful thing to be. I've never been that guy, and so like Lynn has Tommy. Lynn brings Tommy these, his vision, and Tommy's like, I'm gonna be your architect. I'm gonna make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've had that. Yeah, my manager and producer Joseph Abate has been that for me for a long time. Like we're coming up on like 8, 9 years working together. So yeah, that's Joseph. Joseph finds a way. I bring him my crazy ideas, and Joseph finds a way. He found Michael.
Michael and Mitchell. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you know Michael, and so Joseph knows the sound that we're trying to achieve on a project, and he scours the internet. He asks people for recommendations, and he makes it come true magically.
All right. So and so for you, it's like, again, I cannot wait for your consideration to come in the mail, because again, this CD it's truly brilliant, and it's something that people need to hear, and you need to get that Grammy and for this. But what is next for you as far as that music's concerned? Is there another sound, or is there an extension of the sound that you were able to find on Mr. that's going to be the next incarnation of a music for you?
I'm always, when I step in a studio, I really don't take it for granted. I'm always trying, if I'm lucky enough to step into the studio at all and record something, it needs to be something for all time. It needs to be something that, not to be morbid, but if I died tomorrow, this is my record. This
Absolutely.
is the record of the fact that I was here, and so you want to put something down that's a classic to you. That's something that will stand the test of time. So that if we record another record, it'll be okay. We have to take all the lessons that we learned from this last album. This last album took a lot longer than we thought it was going to take. It was a little more expensive than we thought it would be. That came from, I met this dude, Mishka, one name. You Google him, you'll see like all this, all the background stuff he's done. But we met a background arranger that blew my mind. You know, Mishka's work blew my, and so like we hired him for like 2 songs, and then in the end, like Mishka had to do every song because his stuff was just.
And when during the process did you meet him and hire him? Was it
Wait.
Oh, okay.
Wait. So
Yeah.
Mishka, you know, Mishka made that budget go up. He's worth it, but he made that budget go up. We'll make it up somehow. But yeah, so we'll take the lessons that we learned on this, and you do better. You know, every project you got to do better, and you're always we do have, you know, a modest amount of fans right now and a following right now, and I always want to deliver something to them that that lets them know I respect them and I appreciate them, but also that they can chart the growth. They can see the growth in us. So whatever we do will be better than what you're hearing.
All right. Well, we thank you. We can spot the growth, and you have fans for sure. What question for you? I mean, because you have the one little one, and the 2 of you are still young. Are you thinking that you want a large family, or are you both from large families, or are you only children, or and how does that play into what you think for yourselves for family in the future?
We both have 1 sibling.
Okay.
Each.
Mm-hmm.
And we're open to a lot of stuff. It is I feel like having children right now for me would be, and we're talking, you know, it's like it would be, I don't totally have a peace about it.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is because there's just so much uncertainty. Like whenever I've made big decisions in my life up until now, I've had a tremendous amount of certainty and peace, foolish or not, you know, because I know nobody knows what's coming. But when I proposed to my wife, when we had our first kid, you know, the big decisions, the most important decisions, I've had a peace about it. And so it's hard for me to have hard for a lot of us right now to have a peace about much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it would be the biggest act of faith of my life. Mm-hmm. It would be an act of faith, of trust, which maybe I need too. You know, maybe I need to, but it's we're in talks. Yeah. We're in negotiations. We'll see. We had things not in this situation, of course, we'd have had as many kids as we could fit in, you know. This has changed a lot, just about, you know, it made us question a lot of where we're going, what are we doing, where's the country going, where's the world going, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned faith, and again, for me, it's like, you know, I feel like for this series, it's important for people to be able to talk about the things that we always were told not to. Like, we don't talk about politics, we don't talk about religion, we don't talk about technique. And you just mentioned faith. Like, what part does faith, God, the universe, however you see the power that's greater than you, what part does that play in your life, in the life of this family unit?
I like to keep God close. I try not to put God in a box. Mm-hmm. And so God is welcome in my life. God is welcome to move all through my life. God is welcome to teach me and mold me and shape. You know, I just welcome that. I've been better for it. It's been a relationship in my life that has only led me to the best stuff. And everybody doesn't have that experience. That's been my experience, you know.
I was going to say, I mean, it's interesting because in these pandemical times that we're in, I was speaking to someone the other day, and it's like, it hits you that if there are people around who don't realize that there is a higher power or something greater than who they are, then they could be flailing in this time because there's so, as you said, there's so much uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen next. We don't know what normal is going to look like when we are through this, and to have something that is a constant in your spirit and in your life is is such, it almost feels like a luxury that you know that you have that, and that it's always, that it's going to be there.
Yeah. I mean, I also feel this thing that I love so much, this professional thing that I do, when I'm doing it right, when I'm doing it at my best,
Mhm.
and I'm not always doing it right or at my best. I try.
Yes.
But when I am doing it right, when I did Hamilton right, it felt like ministry. It
Mhm.
felt very, very close to that to me. So that's a holy thing, and I like um, having space in my life for reverence and holiness and honor and things like that. You know, the those wonderful things. Not for everybody, but it's definitely been for me.
Cool. Leslie Odom Jr., I thank you so much. I wish you nothing but the best. I'm going to knock on wood for that Grammy nomination and then that win to come in for the 2020-21 season. And I just cannot thank you enough for being who you are, and for being married to who you're married to, and having the baby that you have and everything. So thank you so much. Your presence in my life is appreciated, and I want to make sure you know that.
Thank you, T.
Thank you.
Wake up, it's the morning. Wake up, the day is dawning. Wake up, it's time to spill the tea. So everybody's gotta wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the morning. Wake up, the day is dawning. Wake up, it's time to spill the tea. So everybody's gotta wake up, wake up.